Hello, and welcome. Hopefully the internet holds out good for us now that we've got it all fixed. We had a tech guy here last week doing some work on it, so hopefully it's going to hold together for us today. So if you have never caught one of my lives before, I am participating in a 14-day Go Live video challenge. And today is day 13. I can't believe it's almost over. And it's put on by Helen Martin, and she is one of my mentors that I follow. And she puts this on out of the goodness of her heart. And it is just to increase our skills in doing live video. And she gives us different little tasks to do every day. And today's task, we are asked to invite a guest on and interview them. So if you caught one of my lives a few days ago, I did another one. That was the task for that day. And so today we have another little guest to bring on here, a very special guest. So I'm just going to pull this up here, and it says, we're going to talk today about how numbers can affect our lives. And we don't realize how much they actually play into our lives. So we are going to bring a guest on, and she's going to discuss about that. But we aren't even aware that numbers are playing some part in our life and what's happening with them and stuff. So before we go any further, there's a link up above. It says StreamYard. This is a third-party software here that I am using today. And you just have to give it permission if you want to participate in the conversation. And then your little profile bubble pops up, and I can see who I am having a chat with. So hello and welcome to my communities, because I'm going live here in two places. I have a health community and I have an e-commerce community where I assist other struggling network marketers with finding their skills in education and attraction marketing and building their business the modern way with strategies in social media. So my name, if you haven't caught it on the screen there, is Heather Edmondson, and we are just going to move along here and bring up the comments here so I can see. And we're going to pull in my little guest here. So another fellow Albertan. And we got snow last night. We all got snowed on. So hello, Shauna. Thank you for participating with me today and sharing some of your fine wisdom with all of us.
Thank you for having me. This is exciting.
So do you want to give us a little bit of a background about what you do and maybe even how we met? I don't know what you want to throw in there today. Right. All sounds good.
I love that we met in an online community. So it's so beautiful. The women that we've met just in our group that we've been a part of is so beautiful, being there and helping each other. For me, I'm a transformational coach, and I help people work through their fear, doubt, and uncertainty into love, expansion, and possibilities. I'm also a certified numerologist, so everything numbers.
That's good.
Yeah, so that's one of my tools I use to help people navigate their life path and their journey is numerology.
And so how does it, is it kind of like zodiac things? Does it kind of play in with the moon and the stars and your inner being and stuff? It all connects together?
Yeah, very much so. It does with astrology. When you dive deeper into numerology, there is a part where it is around the planets and the rhythm and so on and so forth. But with numbers, I mean, just to start with basic, I know some people like numerology and they don't understand it, so they get scared by it. But it's just math. It's numbers. It's equations. And I mean, when it comes to numbers, I mean, they're everywhere. Numbers are everywhere. They tell us a story. They provide us information. When you look at it, there's 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week, 12 months a year, 365 days a year. Like the numbers all tell a story. And so when we're born on a specific day. That's our story. So a specific day, a specific month, a specific year. So when you look at that, I take your numbers and I take your birthday and I plot it on a little chart. And when I go into this chart, there's a chart where it connects. We call it our wisdom centers. So it's like physically, emotionally, and mentally. So our numbers show up, whether it's on the physical plane, emotional plane, or mental plane, wherever they show up, it's how we are here on this path and how we're navigating through things. Are we moving things out through the world physically? Are we moving things out through the world mentally? Do we play a big part with emotions? Are we very sensitive with emotions? Some people are more sensitive than others. And so we can tell all of this. I can tell it all by looking with someone's birthday and then putting it on a chart and taking a look at it. And it's so like we can dive deep in on so many levels, because what I call a power code, that's your key number, your most significant number. And that's your influence, your strong influence, your personality, like your general personality. And then it's like your computer hardware. And then from there, depending on like, their month and the year, different numbers are plotted, and they add another layer to it, and it adds another layer and another layer. So it's different influences. And then with the influences, it can be like, you can have something like called an arrow of frustration. You can have an arrow of determination. You can have an arrow of sensitivity, depending where your numbers are. You can have isolated numbers. You can have double numbers. They all mean something. And it's really neat when you actually dive in to see what they actually mean. And so it could be a situation like, for instance, like I was talking about, your wisdom center is looking at it, where you could have a set of double ones, and then those double ones can be isolated. Like for me, June 1st, 1967, I'll give it to my birthday. And so
well, Paul just threw this in here. He just walked in here, my husband, and he said he was born on the 16th day of the 5th month, and his initials in his name are the 5th and 16th of the alphabet. So isn't that wild? So wow. There you go. That's just one little tiny fact there that is amazing. Like I didn't know that.
Yeah. And the more, and like, so if he has like 3 ones, depending where they are, right? And I didn't write it down because I was like, but that all means something. So when we look at it, like I said, we have our physical plane, our emotional plane, and our mental plane. And so when you look at it, like any of us that were born in like the 1900s, we have a 1 and a 9. So we're all about like the new ideas, the one planting the seeds, and then the 9s. Okay. It's all about, completion and changing, like kind of like having the ideas and moving out into the world. And then, it's on very physical and mental plane. But people born in the year 2000s, it's like that the 2 is all about connection, and it's on the emotional plane. So they feel things. So just knowing that okay, they don't have the 1 like we do. So they're right away, their thought process is going to be different.
Okay. So does it go on a 1 to 9 scale or 0 to 9 scale? Does everything revolve around 0 to 9? Okay.
So it goes 1 to 9. And then for your day numbers, like your power code, you can go up to, like, if you get like a 10, then it's like we reduce it down to like a 1. So you can also be like an 11. You can be a 10 and 11.
Well, we all know we're an 11.
So there you go. So, I mean, it's like, it all means something. And like I said, the arrows where it plots, if there's numbers missing on your wisdom centers, that means something. If there's numbers where it like makes a full arrow up, horizontal or vertical, that all means something. And then from there, we have what's called our hero's journey. So like our life quest, where it's like we have 4 seasons, and in those seasons, it's 9 years in each season. So every season we are learning something before we're moving into the next season, and then the next season. So it all adds something. And when you look at it all, like when I put my charts together and I do my power codes, they could be up to 12 pages of information.
Wow. So how did you get brought on this path? What brought you to this journey in your circle of life, I guess?
My circle of
life to this.
I left a corporate career, and I started on a path on my own personal development journey. And on this path, I met different coaches and different people and different women. And I met this beautiful lady, and that was part of her life's quest, is teaching numerology, and she certifies people. So I've taken all 3 levels of her certification in numbers, because I got so fascinated when she actually delivered my own code to me. And I looked at this blueprint, and I was just like, oh my goodness, so much of my life made sense. So much. And especially when I looked at my 1 season, because it was a 9-year season, and it was 9 years I was at my former job. And it was the 9 years that were probably the most struggle of my life as far as certain situations.
Yeah.
So it was all there. It all made sense. And I looked at it and I thought, wow, had I known what I know now, that wouldn't have been such a struggle. I could have navigated it at a different way.
But you might not have been open to accepting some of these ideas at that time because you were focused over here, right?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. I mean, it all happened. Life lessons happen for a reason. I learned so much in those 9 years and opened up in so many ways, that situations were happening so we can learn from it and move on and grow. So, yeah.
What else was I going to ask you here? Yeah. So being brought into this journey, you teach some of this. You have little courses that you run and stuff, and you have getaways. What do you call them? Retreats. Gosh, my brain had a brain fart there for a second. You have retreats, and I can't wait till we can actually all of us get together and actually do some of these things with everything being kind of shut down. But
Yeah. Yeah.
can't wait to actually do some of these things to get together. And so if somebody wanted to reach out and find out more information about it, just your website there is a good place to start.
Yeah.
www.shaunaroche.com. So
Yeah.
that's a good way. So how has this affected your mind and your body and your spirit? How has it brought it all together in a nice little neat package? Or has it been messy? Have you had to go through some messy stuff to get to the feeling better about everything?
You know what? We all do. There is that journey of going through the messy stuff, because especially as you're opening up to personal development, you're growing, you're looking deep within. And part of one of the courses I teach is you look at your mirrors and you look at your triggers. So it's stuff where in my previous life, I didn't allow myself to feel emotions. I was in male dominated industry. I was very much a doing energy, very strong energy, and you just pushed emotions down. So for me, it has helped stuff come up. And I love it because I call it Powerhouse and Power Code, where I help women step into their power. And it is so much more powerful when you learn to navigate everything and you work through the pain, you work through the ugliness to get to the other side, where then you can look at life. Like I look at life totally different now. Like things don't trigger me the way they used to. And I have so much compassion and love. And I want to help people. It's like, how can I help people? How can I serve people? And it's like, it may not even be me, but it's like, even in my women's group, it's like, tell me, how can we help you? Because there's so many beautiful souls out there willing to help other people. And but it is a journey to get here. Like it took a lot for me to get here. I had to face some things, but
it didn't happen overnight either. It took a couple of years, didn't it? It's been a real process. It's not, people can't get fixed, like you said, overnight. And it's not like you can just throw a medication at them or something like that. They have to work through these awful things to get to the other side.
There is, because you go through a cycle, right? It's like you have to self-awareness, right? It's like a big one. It's like the whole self-awareness and then self-responsibility. There's a lot of things we don't want to take self-responsibility for.
Absolutely.
Right. And that's a big one. And especially like if you're in a victim mode, right? If you're in victim, you don't know how to take self-responsibility. So it's like, I've played all the parts of like a drama triangle. So it's like, it's navigating that and learning. But once you get through to the other side, it's like, as things come up in life, they're easier to face. And it's like, oh, okay. And then it's so beautiful when you think, oh, 2 years ago, I would have totally reacted that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's how I'm going to move through this. Here's what I say is, I like to say, I'm energetically available for this. I'm not energetically available for that.
Well, and you don't want to do the hard stuff. Naturally, our body doesn't want to do the hard stuff because we're kind of in a comfort zone, even though we may be going through some shit. But, it's kind of a comfort zone. And to move out of that comfort zone, that's the hard obstacle, right? To get over that hurdle. And so none of us, or not very many of us, want to do that and move forward in our life because, like we said, we are comfortable where we're at.
Yeah. And we get stuck. We get so stuck. And I mean, a big part of my journey has been forgiveness and gratitude. And a lot of people, that's where things can get kind of, where people just do the gratitude every day or every night. It's like the gratitude, but they don't do the forgiveness work. And it's until you do the forgiveness work that you stay stuck, because the forgiveness is such a big part of moving forward. And it's not because of the situation. It's not because of it's forgiving so you can move forward. It's so
exactly.
You get over it. And that's the huge part. They go hand in hand together. And so that for me was a big one. Definitely.
Well, and the forgiving myself, like for myself included, like I didn't want to forgive certain situations in my life because I thought, well, that person did this to me and whatever. And I was the one that was being hurt by it because they for a long time forgotten about it. They've moved on way past. And here I am holding on to this grudge that's only making me sick to my stomach over the situation. And I like you said, until you can forgive that situation and move past it, you'll make yourself sick every single time. Yeah.
Exactly.
So we could dive way, way deeper into this.
I know.
This is a whole topic for weeks and weeks and weeks and stuff. So if any of you guys are interested in finding out any more information about what it is that Shauna does and how you can move forward and do get into some of her education and courses, do hit me up and let me know, and I can pass along her information to you, or I will post it in the page after we have our little chat and get all cleaned up here. So thank you so much, Shauna, for participating again today. And I just wanted to throw out there, life has no rehearsals, only performances. So get out there, everybody, and have yourself your best day that you can, wherever you are tuning in from. And we will catch you all again tomorrow sometime.
Thank
So
you.
thank you, Shauna. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.